This podcast is brought to you by Financial Fashion Company. I wanted to remind you guys to go check out our store. You can visit www.elfandfstore.com, check out our positive apparel, and if you see something that you like, use discount code ELF10 to get 10% off your first order. Back to the show.
You are now tuned in to We Invest Different Podcast, where we have high-level conversations. I'm Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm Victor Thomas II.
Let's tap in. Tapping in. Welcome back to another conversation of We Invest Different Podcast. I'm co-host John Michael Best.
And I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
And it's good to be back. It's feeling good. I'm feeling good. How you feeling, Vic?
I'm a little sleepy, but I'm happy to be doing this, man. For real. Happy to be doing this, staying consistent. Just making sure that this stays a part of the balance, and I'm glad that that us doing this right now is clearly an indication of that. You know what I mean? So yeah. I feel real aligned, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For real. What about you, man?
I feel good, man, and I'm proud that I was able to make that trip up here.
Word.
You know, because I know you made that sacrifice numerous amount of time, so I feel pretty good that I was able to do the same thing in return.
Yeah, right.
And we meet up and make greatness. You know, because greatness comes with great sacrifice. I don't know too much greatness without sacrifice.
Real talk.
So with that being said, man, I really feel good about the event that we had on last weekend.
Yes, sir.
Our first annual MH10 community event. We did have, a lot of love, man, out there. Everybody came and we was unified. We expressed what MH10 was all about, and we did our 10-minute community walk. We walked the trail, and we had some powerful conversation while walking the trail.
Word.
And the goal of the event was to build community, and we was able to add 2 people to our MH10 community for encouragement and accountability.
Amen.
So that was a blessing. The event wasn't to make money. The event wasn't for, just for fun. But the event was for awareness. And those who showed up showed that they were more aware about mental health, which is why they showed up to the event. And that was the whole purpose.
Right.
I appreciate you for coming out, Vic.
Already,
we had a doctor from the Morehouse School of Medicine come out. I know her, we're like family, so she was a supporter. I appreciate her for coming out. I appreciate everybody who donated. Like, my aunties stepped up, man, like on the day to eat, like the day before and the day of the event. Like, they was like, send the link, and they donated. Like, I believe like every one of my aunties that knew about it right then donated. And I want to give a shout out to every last one of them. Shout out to my Aunt Georgine. She continuously and always have, been in my corner. Man, she was able to give me my first iPhone. And I know it seemed like it's small to some people, but that was a new experience that I didn't experience until I was 19, 20 years old. And she got me my own phone, my own iPhone for the first time. And ever since then, she's been helping me with my phone bills and all of this stuff since I've been an entrepreneur or since I wasn't, quote, working a job.
Right.
So I have had support, man, and I appreciate them, and I appreciate them for stepping up and supporting this event. And like I said, we will have more events throughout the year. That was only our first one. And me and Vic, we're going to start discussing, what we're going to do for our second event. So looking forward to that.
For sure. And I was just glad to be a part, man. And I just want to put on the record, man, how proud I am of you, of putting that together. And, man, just praise God for, putting it in your heart to going in the direction that you're going in. Because, man, it's beautiful to watch, man. Because, I learned that when you the one doing it, it don't seem as big, but because from the outside looking in and just seeing how you doing this, bro, like, bro, it's beautiful to watch, bro. Like, you transforming right before my eyes. So, you know what I mean? I praise God for being able to witness it. And that event, man, was just like, man, it was just really just a real, because, you know, we can talk all day and I can hear your growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that event was something that I could like see and experience your growth in a whole different way. You dig what I'm saying? So big salute on that, cuz, and you got me excited, bro, about the next event.
Yes.
And man, just, you know, keeping this momentum, cuz, like, I thank you. You know what I mean? Because it's good for me too.
Thank
Real
God.
talk, man.
All I got to say is hallelujah.
That's right, man.
You know what I'm saying? Hallelujah. Because a lot of this stuff became a desire of mine when I started focusing more on the will of God.
Yes, sir.
And I just got to be honest. I can't take no credit. I can't take all the credit. You know what I'm saying? Because he gave me more of a desire to do this. Because kind of what we getting ready to talk about, you know, confidence.
Right.
Because it took me a long time to gain the confidence to even put myself out there to do an event.
Right.
So although it seemed like, yes, this was, you know, people are proud that I did this and people are proud that I executed, but, you know, it took a long time for me to gain that confidence to say, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to put myself out there. Whoever comes, and we're just going to start.
That's right.
You know, I wasn't always there. This moment was just this moment. I was just confident enough to do this, and I didn't have no doubt. I believed, and it felt like I didn't feel any pressure. That, like I was telling you at the event, you know, this is something that I always felt that I wanted to do. Because, like I said, I went to school for psychology. Mm-hmm. I fell in love with that in high school. So this has been brewing for a long time. It just took me going through a lot of things to really realize that I was supposed to come back home to where I initially started.
Yes, sir.
You know, and the whole goal of me even going to school was for me to be a clinical psychologist, meaning like I would diagnose and study the treatments of, you know, mental illnesses, or, you know, and do psychoanalysis, you know, just study what's going on with people's brains, with people, you know, cognitive thinking and things of that nature. It's just really the way people think, you know, and diagnosing that and learning the different illnesses of the brain. And I love that stuff, and I'm very fascinated. And what I really learned by looking at Dr. Sebi was that you don't necessarily have to have a degree to study to show thyself approved.
That's right.
You know, because the scripture says study to show thyself approved, and that don't say anything about a college degree. So we have to really get down to the nitty gritty and stop making excuses. So word to myself, I study and I observe, and I really love the craft of psychology and psychoanalysis. I really love the brain. I really love how things work.
Why you think you love that like that, though? You know, that ain't really no ordinary stuff. Like, why are you so intrigued by that?
You know what, bro? I really don't know. It just feels home. It's really no other expression. It just feels fulfilled. Like that's just what I don't know. It's just a connection.
Like a calling sound, like, man.
Cause like, okay, I'm gonna tell you the story before we dive into our topic.
Okay.
I actually learned about psychology helping somebody that was younger than me, who ended up graduating school before me and doing dual enrollment at a university. Mm-hmm. So she was younger than me, but she was more advanced. So I ended up helping her with her homework, and she said something like, "Oh yeah, I got psychology homework," and I was just a junior in high school, so I had never taken psychology or really never heard of psychology. Mm-hmm. So once she talked about psychology, and she showed me the text, I said, "Man, this is very interesting," because they started talking about negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement, conditioned stimuli. and all of these great things and different variables of reason why things respond the way they respond, and I just seen the dots connecting, and it just made so much sense. Because, like I say all the time, everything is psychology.
Yep.
Everything is psychology. So it just made sense, and it made me think about development, and I was always interested in the question why. Why is this happening? Why is this going on? Why is this? Why is that? And what I learned is that, I always wanted to be a doctor. I was already going into that direction when I decided I wasn't going to play football. So I was already going to be in the medical field. But when I seen psychology and I seen the connection it had with the brain, I was just interested. And I just got more and more interested. And then I got to college, and then I majored in it. But all that time, bro, I never did self-evaluation, which is why it intrigued me even more once I got older and seen that I was affected by mental health. So it kind of like inspired me in a way even more when I left school. So I really got my calling in psychology outside of college. I didn't really get that calling that I feel now when I was at school. So that's why I feel that I can do more work outside of college and in the real world than I could trying to chase a college degree. And that was my whole dilemma, or the reason why I didn't want to go to school and finish anyway. Because I felt like I can create way more impact in the world in a run of 12 years than actually standing in the classroom working and doing all of this stuff.
I'm telling you, it's a lot. It's a lot.
But leading on into our topic, bro, I really wanted to talk about this because I feel like it's very important to manhood, and to being, I would like to say an original man, because I really don't want to say black man anymore. I'm really transitioning away from that because that was
an original man.
That's I'm saying, like, all of these adjectives and pronouns, like all of these adjectives that we call ourselves were given.
What's some of these pies, brother?
Right, bro. I'm just saying, I ain't even going that route, bro. For real.
What it sound like?
I'm not trying to sound like no.
Original man.
I'm not trying to sound like no Muslim or.
Some wine, my brother. I'm tripping, bro.
No, I'm just. That's funny though.
That sound original, man.
That's funny though.
It just made me think about all.
But I'm really saying though, like how important, because I'm saying though, in this world, we're looked at a certain type of way. Is really what I'm saying.
Right. So,
like in anything we do, and anywhere we go, we stand out. Yeah. So that's why I say, that's why I wanted to say that and make that distinction, because we're not like any other people.
Right.
We're not marked like any other people. I'm not saying we're the only people that are marked, but I'm saying we're not marked like any other people. Meaning, like, we're not oppressed like any other people are, or any other people aren't oppressed exactly like we are.
Okay, I got you.
So, with that being said, I feel like it's very important for us to know who we are and have a sense of self, because that creates confidence.
Right.
So, the first part of the conversation, this is a 2-part conversation. The first part of the conversation, I want to talk about what makes me confident, and I want you to talk about what makes you confident. And then after that, we're going to go into, why is that important? Because we just talked about a little bit of that, who we are and how we're looked at in society. It's very important that we know who we are and we walk in that light. We need to know who we are. We need to have a sense of self. We need to know self-value. We need to have self-love, because all of that breeds that confidence that we can show, like, okay, I know who I am and I know who God created me to be, so we can walk in that energy. And I feel like even with having that consciousness, your quality of life has gone up just by having that mindset. So let's talk about that, man. What are some things that you feel makes you confident as a person?
For me, man, it's one of them things when I look back on my life that I can honestly say at one point it was no struggle. At one point it was no struggle. I even had people you know, that I've known for a long time that would say, man, you were so sure of yourself when you was a kid. I'm gonna say a kid, but you know, the younger years, you know what I mean? And honestly, once I got to high school, I felt a shift happening. I ain't know what it was. I couldn't even call it a shift then, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But something was different, something was changing, you dig what I'm saying? And honestly, now that I look back on it, man, it really was my process kicking off into me being who I am now. It started in high school. You dig what I'm saying? So I would say I went through a whole process where I lacked confidence for some years, you know what I mean? And it's because who I was changing. You dig what I'm saying? And that could be a weird spot, you know what I mean? Like, I've been this way for so long, and I just got to be frank. God allowed me to be this way for so long, but God was like, I need you to be this way, Victor Wade Thomas II. I need you to be this way. And I resisted it. You know what I mean? I resisted it. Like, I ain't paying attention to no cues, so here I am drinking. You know what I mean? That's a part of it, too. I'm drinking, I'm smoking, just so I can have that liquid gold confidence, as they call it. You know what I mean? You drink that beer, that liquid gold, you know, oh, you big man then, you drunk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it was just me fighting that change that I needed to make. But, you know, I went through that process of alcoholism, and I saw myself coming into who I was supposed to be, because I had to realize it wasn't none of that can fight. And I believe that my true confidence, and I think everybody's confidence, is accepting who you are supposed to be and not who people expect you to be. Because I went through that a lot. Oh, this Vic, you know, he do the music. He run with these type of things. He do this. But whole time, it's something in me that's brewing up. Every year seemed like, I'm just getting, this ain't my space. This ain't my space. But I'm still trying to sit in this space that's not for me. And that was killing my confidence. You dig what I'm saying? Because now I'm in a place where I can't be who I am. You know what I mean? It was a part of me that wanted to talk to people about God, that wanted to have real conversations with people. But all these niggas want to talk about is, you know, I got this new gun. You know what I mean? Y'all heard that new Young Thug song. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting in a place where I can't fully be me. And then automatically, just because my environment, confidence get diminished. Because I can't see my value. I couldn't see my value because nobody around me had any value similar to mine. You dig what I'm saying?
It's powerful.
So now, honestly, I'm in a place right now where I'm still, I know who I am more, but right now it's me being vocal about it. Like, God been laying on my heart lately, like, speak what's in your heart. That's you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's you.
Yeah.
Because now I'm
that
in the
true self.
Yeah, that true self. Because, you know, God done made it to where, you know, friends falling off. You know what I mean? I'm in that space right now where I'm kind of like in solitude a little bit. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? But I know why, because I'm reading my Bible, I'm meditating, I'm getting myself equipped to meet the people that I'm meant to meet. You dig what I'm saying? And be able to decipher who's who. And now it's like, okay, you know who you are now. And now you got to go out into the world and be that person fully. And if I don't do that, I won't be confident. You dig what I'm saying? Because I'm confident when we talk about the stuff we talk about. You dig what I'm saying? When I'm doing things that's aligned with that.
Yes.
You dig what I'm saying?
Definitely.
That's a big part of my confidence. Making sure I'm surrounding myself with stuff that aligns with who I am. You dig? And if I don't do that, then it's a clash. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me, my confidence basically comes from me accepting who I am and walking in that, and also setting myself in places where what I have to offer is of value.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Or where you appreciate it, not tolerate it.
Come on now. That's it.
So man, that really spoke to me, especially that self-acceptance piece, because I know we touched on that a while back when I talked about me being on a mental health support group call, and the therapist talked about me having problems accepting things. So that really spoke to me, and here is why. I really agree, and I'll piggyback off of that self-acceptance. You know, my confidence journey has been a struggle, you know, because like I said, I grew up in the church, and I also seen a lot in the world. So I had that battle of who I wanted to be and who I was supposed to be. So I always had desires, you know, to do street things, but I also had a natural gift to be a dynamic leader or a person that stands out and be different. I've always been that person that wasn't afraid to blaze a trail or stand alone and see who's gonna follow. I've been that type of person since I was little, but there were still some things that what I'm saying is that it was a battle of, you know, two worlds, I would say, and it kind of affected the way I accepted myself. Because I didn't accept those desires that I had within me to do things in the world. I felt like it was bad, and I would condemn myself for the desires that I would have, like it wasn't natural or like I was a demon or something. But a lot of things is natural because it's in your environment. And I didn't understand that until I started getting into mental health. You know, because things that happen early on in life, you're going to always remember it. Whether you remember it in your conscious mind or whether you remember it in your subconscious mind. Like, even now, I still sometimes remember things that I have forgotten for a long period of time. Traumatic things. So, it's not that you don't remember them. It's just a matter of time before you remember them. Because the memory is there. Because like we said at the beginning, I'm intrigued with the brain. And brain has memory because your memory is connected to your senses. So whatever your senses experience, that's what you're going to remember. So that's how your trauma is always being carried in your experiences through your senses. That's how we relive it. So...
Real talk. I ain't never looked at it like that.
Yeah, it's a breakdown, bro. It's really a breakdown.
Dang.
That's why we struggle with that when we become adults. Because it's like, when you growing up, you really don't see the effects. Okay, you living in the household, you know, you have certain freedoms, and you don't have a lot of adversity.
Yeah.
It's not normal for you to have a lot of adversity growing up. I know some of us do, but I'm just saying the average, you don't have much adversity.
Yeah.
It's just normal school stuff, you know, failing a test or being late for work. That's regular life stuff. That's supposed to be the adversity of a growing person.
Right.
But for the most part, you won't start experiencing this stuff, bro, until you actually start living an adult life and have to start taking care of responsibilities and having experiences with stress. Because that really is trigger. Stress is a trigger. And that's how you really realize what your trauma has done. Like, once you meet adversity and stress, and how you respond to that would tell you what you have experienced, what makes you mad, what's your trigger. Something triggers you, the reason why you responded like
it
that.
Always go back to some old stuff. Usually childhood. But I know for me, it usually comes from childhood,
It's
bro.
a connection, bro. It's always a connection.
Dang.
To something you felt in the past.
Yeah, it's the feeling,
Yes.
not the experience, but the feeling that came from it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, yes, because it's in
Same.
your senses. You felt that.
Yeah.
Like you actually experienced that. Because I don't believe you get the fullness of experience without that feeling.
Word.
And that's what they say manifesting is that feeling.
Yep,
When you
I hear.
meditation it's the connection of that feeling. Because that feeling takes you there.
That's crazy.
It's all psychology, bro. It's all connected, bro.
I ain't never looked at it like that.
So,
Damn.
so
cool.
yeah, man, that confidence piece came because I didn't really understand my desires came from how I was raised and what I seen and what I went through. I didn't really understand. I just thought, okay, like, dang, I'm going to church. Like, why am I, like, I still want to be in the game, though. Like, why, like, but I know I can't do that. So it was just a battle. It's just a battle, and it's just a battle. But I didn't have that confidence of self till later on in life, man, when I really accepted who I was, meaning, like, accepted that I was different fully.
Man.
Like, really accepted that that I'm a man of God, man.
For real.
I didn't really want to move like a man of God because I really thought it was lame.
Yeah. I mean, one time I put on Facebook a while ago, I think I might be a preacher. And this when I was like in college. Because my process, when I said earlier, my process of like changing started like in 12th grade, 11th grade in high school. You know what I mean? Probably like 12th grade when it got super intense. But anyway, I'm in college and I'm like, I might be a preacher. And I remember one of my music dudes, he chimed in and was like, "No, bro. No. That ain't for you." And that just goes to show that my environment, you know what I mean, impacted me. Because I was like, man, maybe he right. You know what I mean? But here I am right now, having no choice but to be a man of God and possibly a preacher.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's really, I mean, a preacher ain't, I mean, what is a preacher? A preacher don't necessarily mean you have to be a pastor of a church or a leader of a congregation.
Right.
So a preacher is just somebody that stands and talk about something. Like,
Right.
they have a stance on something. So, okay, like, somebody be like, preach. That means you saying something. That means, okay, you got something that somebody could possibly agree on or disagree with. Like, you preaching something. Like, you got something to say. So that's really, you a preacher. Like, a preacher got something to say. So
Right.
I really feel like we all are preachers in a way.
Everybody got something that they stand on.
Everybody got something
and
to
gonna
say.
speak on.
Rest in peace to Unc. I always say, like, he always used to say, folk, I got something to say. Like, everybody got something to say. But what you got to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about what you got to say. What vibe you on, what energy you on. Because everybody got something to say.
Real talk.
But
going
folk,
back-
I got something to say.
You say what?
But folk, I got something to say, though. Like,
Right.
what you got to something, like, what's personal, like, what you got something to say. You got something to say.
Right. Everybody got something to say. But going back to you though,
Yeah.
you was saying you was having a time accepting that you was a man of God.
Oh, yeah. Okay, like, I had certain gifts, man, like natural gifts that I knew I had that I just wanted to experience a quality of life as well. Like, I think about things differently, bro. Like, I really feel like I could enjoy life and enjoy God. I don't feel like I have to deprive myself of feeling great. Like, every day. I don't feel like I have to live in a space that I don't want to be in, saying that I'm doing it for the sacrifice of God. Like, I've seen so many people live, like, shitty lives. Like, and let me be more specific, because I know shitty is like an anger word. But I seen people live low lives, meaning no goals, no drive to like live better, like no drive to do more things for your family. Like, I've seen and grew up around people that live like that,
Right.
and they really think it's the way of God. But I really feel like God don't mind me wanting to really express Him in my living. Not saying that, oh, that means I'm rich and I have all of these things. But, like, I mean, like, I'm moving like a God. I'm moving like reverencing him in everything that I do. So it's like I'm floating through life on a certain frequency, on a certain vibe because of his spirit.
Yes, that's it.
So it's like
that spirit.
See that what I'm saying? So it's like that's that thing. That like that man of God thing, like that's that thing. Dang, I think I lost what I'm.
My bad, man. Probably because I chimed in. My bad.
Yeah, because I'm like, hold on, where was I going again?
But you were saying people live low vibration.
Yeah, like I've seen it. Like I've really seen that and been around people. That's why I'm like desensitized to a certain extent. Like I can really live in some low states and survive.
Yeah.
Because I've really been desensitized because I've seen and been around people that really have low expectations of life. And that's really what it is. And that's another thing that go for the confidence piece. Like when you have confidence, like when you have goals, it helps your confidence. Because it's something to look forward to in life. You got something to go after. You got something to live for. Like I was just talking about, that drive.
Right.
That all goes into it, bro. That all goes into it.
But see, let me kick this to you though, because I'm gonna be transparent. I've had a time where I've had goals, but it wasn't necessarily nothing for me to look forward to because I had a hard time struggling with, okay, I see this, I want this, but had no clue on how to get there. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, what do I do with that at that point? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a part of the journey. That right there is just literally a part of the journey of transitioning to a higher self.
Right.
That's your time. That's the space and the time you got to go through. That's that self-work. That's that work. And I think everybody got their fight.
Right.
But I mean, just for you to even have a mindset to set a goal is confident.
Right.
Even though you haven't actually accomplished the goal yet, but to even say, you know what, I want to do this and I want this for myself.
Right.
That's telling yourself, I deserve to have this to a certain extent. That's saying that you really telling yourself, I can have this. You set a goal for it. That means you had to literally believe a little bit, at least a little bit. You had to literally believe in yourself to say, I can do this.
Right.
That's confidence.
Right.
So although you didn't do it yet, although you didn't know how to do
Don't
it,
know how at all.
but
didn't know how.
But just because you muscled up, you know, the faith to even say, I'm gonna set this as a goal, it took confidence.
Right.
So, yeah, that's confidence, bro.
And as you talk, bro, and saying when you said it's a process, you made me remember my process. And dang, it's crazy. I saw this stuff I wanted for myself and for my family, you know, big, you know how we be talking about, you know, blase, squaze, big stuff. But as I look back recently, it really took me to do some more self-analyzation and growth. You know what I mean? Because I think I made the mistake of having this goal, and now I'm just going to pick any kind of way I can to try to get there. But what I really needed to do was to really look at myself. And for me, I ain't saying this for everybody, but I had to get in that Bible. You know what I mean? I had to start serving. You know what I mean? Become a little less selfish. You did what I'm saying? And man, I swear things just started opening up. I started seeing ways to get there. You did what I'm saying?
Yes.
But that's the part of the process. Like, I set this goal. How do I get there? I don't know. I need to grow. You did what I mean? Because the goal was so big and God, like, yeah, you can have it. But in order for me to maintain it, I need you to be in this place as a person. You did what I'm saying? So initially with me setting that goal, I kind of ignored that. I'm like, I'm ready. I see it, I can have it, I'ma manifest it, I'ma think about it every day. You know,
I done been there, yeah.
You know them lies that they done told us, man. If you just see yourself doing it, it's gonna come. Like, nah, nigga, you gotta really grow into it.
Gotta be that.
Yeah, and that's what I ended up having to do, and I'm still doing it. And as I continue to do it, I see stuff opening up, man. And I see what they mean when they say, like, man, it ain't about the goal and getting there. It's the journey, bro. And I'm starting to see the value of it. Because, like, even us just doing this right here is a part of the journey.
Really
that
is.
event, part of the journey. You know what I mean? All this is a part of the journey. And I'm learning how to enjoy the moment. You know what I mean?
Yes, bro.
And, man, it's so beautiful. And with that, I'm having to learn to be in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Training my mind to let go of yesterday and training my mind to let go of tomorrow. Just be right here.
Yes.
And if I make the best decisions like right now, in the moment, and not think about tomorrow, if I make the best decisions that I need to make right now, today, in this second, in this hour, I'm going to get to my goals. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm seeing that happen, cuz. For real, man.
For sure.
For real.
Man, this been a great conversation.
For real.
And leading on to the second part, and this is gonna be very brief because, you know, we getting up till our time before we go to our next segment. But the next part of the conversation is to say, just say a couple things about why that confidence is so important. You know, I know we've been through a lot to get our confidence where it is now and to be who we are at this present moment right now. But a couple things, I'll go first. A couple things of why it's important to have that confidence. Like I said at the beginning, one for me is in this world, you're looked at a certain type of way. And the way that the world looks at you, it could be hard if you don't know who you are and if you're not, sure of yourself, which means confidence. So I believe that you need that because it helps you navigate throughout the world. And it makes things a little easier, a lot easier. Because a lot of things come from lack of confidence, like depression comes from lack of confidence. A lot of times when we have a lack of confidence, we tend to be people pleasers. Because we're trying to be valuable because we don't know our own value. So we're placing what others want us to do as value. We're exchanging that as value. We think, okay, if I do this for this guy, I'll be valuable. But we're saying, okay, what we don't realize is that you're only going to be as valuable as that person determined. You didn't set your own value. You said, okay, maybe I'll be valued after I do this for this guy, meaning you had to do something for him to determine that you were valuable.
Right. And so if you don't do it, you ain't valuable.
Right. So your value is totally based on another person or what you do for another person or the recognition that you get. So that's why it's very important that you have self-confidence and know who you are, because you can get taken advantage of and you'll be driven crazy and you'll be in the house depressed because people is taking advantage of you. You thinking that all these people like you or all these people want to see you win, but they really just using you because you want to please them. And it's very dangerous. So that's one. You need that self-confidence moving throughout the world because it's easier. Now, two is like who we are as people. Like, I feel like it's very pivotal to be confident because as a man, right? As a man need to be confident, bro. Like, I think that's one of the key things what make a man, confidence. Because like I was saying earlier, that give that man that drive, that will to do. Like, if a man not confident in himself, it ain't much that man finna do, bro. You can't go too far without confidence. So that's my little two takes on it.
Very tough. And I fool with what you said, especially on that first thing, man. Like I said, like being in the music industry, you know what I mean? I ain't finna say I was just out here big popping, but folks know my name. And I remember just everybody wanting a piece of Vic. You know what I mean? Vic come fool with me, Vic come fool with me. And honestly, some people I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? But me, I'm placing my value, like you said, with me doing it for them. You know what I mean? Maybe y'all get to where I want to get if I do this for them, because they going to see that I'm cool, or, you know, I'm a real nigga.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to, you know, get some fucking with, to put it in terms that I can put it in.
Give me some motion.
Yeah, it's emotion. That's the word. Looking for some motion.
Did you know stress is one of the leading causes of chronic physical and mental health issues? This is why we started this movement, MH10, Mental Health 10 Minutes. And we want to inspire everybody to take at least 10 minutes a day for a walk, jog, or run. Or even if it's just a stroll in the sunlight to get some fresh air. The goal is just for you to focus on yourself for those 10 minutes. And what this does, it lowers the chances of you experiencing anxiety and depression, because we all know that stress leads to those things. So get outside today and take your 10 minutes. And if you want to post on social media, use hashtag MH10 or Mental Health 10 Minutes. Now back to the show.
But yeah, just trying to get some motion, but not realizing that I am the motion. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I need to be controlling this ship. And once I realized that, man, I quit fooling with a lot of people, bro. And also what went with that, you know, parallel was me recognizing more of who I was and what I need to be doing, and, you know, what needs to be the true backing behind what I'm doing. Because I think a big part of our confidence is also, you know, what are our goals rooted in? What's the motive behind it? Is it just for self? Is it to get rich?
Yes.
Is it to get that car? You know what I mean? All that shit'll fade.
Yeah.
And then you been unguided, and then you mess around and lose it, and now your confidence don't went right with the bullshit.
Shut it.
You did what I'm saying?
That's for real.
So like, what is the real motive behind my goals? What am I doing it for? You did what I'm saying? And, you know, also, confidence is important to me, because right now, where I'm at right now, if I don't confidently be the man that I'm supposed to be 100% of the time, 24/7, how can people know it's me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, honestly, right now I'm in the place of, okay, I know the pastor in my church, he oftentimes talk about our connectors. And those are people that, you know, come into our lives that help us get to our goals. Because, you know, we can't get nothing done alone. Like, as much as niggas be lying, talking about, I did this on my own.
Self-made.
Yeah, I'm self-made. Ain't nobody help me. Nigga, you a lie. Somebody helped you get there. I ain't going for
Who's
that.
shooting this video?
Right. You know what I mean?
Somebody holding the camera, bro.
Some had, yeah. Nothing gets done alone. So I'm in the place of finding new connectors, because I thought I knew my connectors in the past, but the motives were wrong in the circles. You dig what I'm saying? Like, nobody had no bigger purpose. So, like, in order for me to find those people that are supposed to help me and I help them, I got to be able to say, hey, it's me. This is me. You dig what I'm saying? This is what I stand for. This is what I believe in, and it ain't gonna change. I got to be that same person around these folks. I got to be the same person around these folks. And I think that's a big part of what confidence is. Are you the same person everywhere you go?
Yeah.
Or are you people pleasing over here? You gonna be confident over here.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
You
that's seeking.
counterfeit. That's counterfeit.
Come
see,
on.
I don't really see that ain't real. That's not confident. I mean, really, you can't say I'm confident over here and then I'm people pleasing over there, because that means, you know, like, what are you really doing over there?
Right.
So we have to question what you really Like, why are you confident over there and not confident over here? So what's really going on? So we'll have to dive deep into the reason why you don't feel confident in another room. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Real talk.
But because, I mean, technically, bro, I don't feel that none of us are 100% confident.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have levels of confidence in different areas. So I can understand that you can be confident over here, but not as confident over here. So we'll have to actually get deep into detail of where your confidence is lacking.
But see, I can understand that too, being less confident in certain circumstances. You dig what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes we may be a little less confident when we're in an arena that we don't know much about. And I dig that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it's also confidence in being able to say, shit, I don't know.
That's confidence.
Because there's some folks that be like, oh, I don't know, but I don't want nobody to know I don't know, so I'm going to try to act like I know.
But I got a real analogy from what you just said.
What you mean?
And I'm going to say this, and then we're going to go inside the next segment and close out.
All right.
But I literally thought about a person that's playing, you know, he come to football practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the coach trying to, okay, he feel like he already know versus a person that's coming in there trying to learn. Yeah. Okay, the person that coming in there thinking that he already know, he like, okay, I got it, let's go. He, you know what I'm saying, he lit, he loud, you know what I'm saying, he ready to go.
Loud, yeah. Keyword.
he, you know what I'm saying, he turned, he ready to go.
Right.
Now, he keep making mistakes. That person, if you watch that person gonna make a lot of mistakes, and he's just gonna do a lot of movement, and he's just gonna be active and not productive. Now, that person that come in wanting to learn, he gonna end up actually learning something, because that's why he came. Other person came to show his skills or what he already knew. The other person came to learn to get better.
Right.
So it's just two different type of mindsets, and that's the analogy I seen, because it's like, it's even confident to come in and be like, I'm finna come in and I'm finna learn this and murder this thing. Like, this is something I haven't even done, but I'm finna come in here and do it anyway. That's kind of like, okay, how some of these boxers are going into UFC and some of these wrestlers have went into UFC, or vice versa, or some of these UFC have went into the boxing match. It really shows confidence, because it's like, you know what, I haven't did much training in this arena, but I believe in myself enough to train in 3 months that I'll be good enough to at least come in and hold up a fight.
Right. So,
like, it's also confidence in, it's not just confidence in coming in and being fire. It's also confidence in humility. Like, it's confidence in humility as well. It's not just confidence in arrogance, but it's also confidence in humility.
Yes, sir.
So, and I think that's a great piece, like confidence and humility. I think that's what we ought to strive for, because confidence and arrogance, it can come off as a character flaw.
Right.
And I really feel like that's not a high energy. I feel like that's still kind of a low energy. I feel like when you're humble, you're more closer to God. So when you're humble, you're closer to God. Huh? It sounds funny to you?
No, you said it right, bro. It just be funny when folks say words different ways to me, bro.
Right, some people say humble.
Yeah, I be on some weird stuff.
Oh, humble. I mean, you can say humble or humble.
I done heard folks say herb, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be silent H. It do be funny.
That be on some weird shit, bro. But I ain't mean to knock you off, though.
Oh, no, that pretty much was it, man.
But I wanted to add one more thing, though.
Okay.
I'm learning to be careful engaging confidence with a person. You know what I mean? Because, you know, sometimes, you know, we may walk in life and we may see somebody that comes off as what we may deem as confident behavior. But we got a lot of people out here that just know how to act like it.
You're right.
You dig what I'm saying? Know how to act like it. You know what I mean? And then when it come down to really showing and using that confidence, it'd be a whole different story. You see a whole different thing show up, and then things kind of get to tumbling down. And that's just with anything, bro. Like, listen to what a person say. Like, that's what I'm learning. Talk to a person and listen. Don't be concerned about no awkward silence. Don't try to keep the conversation rolling. I'm learning
For
to
real, bro.
let a motherfucker talk. And I'm going to sit back and listen and see where you really at. You know what I mean? Because all that, I got a big smile and, you know, I know how to talk and, you know, I dress good. None of that is a clear indication of confidence or anything. You know what I mean?
It's really consistency.
What you mean?
I mean, anybody could, you know, put on the act for a certain amount of time.
Right.
But like you were saying, like if a person is consistent in situations, they show up as themselves in situations, then you could say, oh, this person is this person. Because they showed up in like real life situations as that person.
Right.
Because when shit happens, it's hard to not be who you are.
Who you really are.
Yeah, because it's going to happen when the pressure is there.
Yeah.
When the real situation is there, the real person is going to hop out their skin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like...
Yes, sir, ski.
So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before a person is really shown. So, like you were saying, just sit back and look. Just watch.
Pay
just
attention.
listen. Just, hey, it's gonna show itself after a while.
So be careful. Don't be fooled. And that's just with anything. Don't think a person's solid. Don't think a person can help you. Don't think a person is successful or sound mind. You know what I mean? Because what you see on the outside.
I really, to clear all of that, bro, I really just think we shouldn't judge, period.
Word.
Like, don't judge them. Don't even be... I really just focus on your self-confidence. Like, you vibe high and you will attract vibrant energy. And I feel that the person that's pretending and the person that's being fake, you're not going to want to be around that person anyway.
Right.
So it's like you're not even going to be... I don't feel that you will intentionally put yourself in a room with fake people if you are genuine.
But see, that I ain't gonna lie to you, cuz. That be one of my concerns, bro.
What's up?
Them snakes. Cause once, all right, for example, I was watching that, what's that show that came out, man, when they did a reboot of that Fresh Prince. You know how they did that reboot of that Fresh Prince show?
Yeah, I liked it.
Me too. Really good show, man. Salute to them for doing that. But I noticed how, like, the new Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, like, these seem like two solid people. But you see, when they was host these events to try to raise money for a cause or whatever, it'll be a whole lot of, I would imagine it being a whole lot of them fake people around. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? And honestly, that's where I see myself being someday. And it's like a concern for me being around it. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. It's a concern because I really don't like people like that. But you got people that's out here like that I feel like it might be a little unavoidable. You know what I mean? So when you say, you know what I mean, you want to attract those type of people, I don't know.
I mean, you will because greatness attracts, you know, the opposite. I mean, so, I mean, every time you desire to do good, evil is always present. So I understand that. You know, wherever God is, Satan gonna follow. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's always, it's a balance in that is what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to entertain. Like, what I'm saying is, like, you don't have to go to the club with them. You don't have to hang out with them. You know, you don't have to.
They was hanging out with them, though, at the party.
No, I'm saying you don't have to. I'm saying you.
I'm saying
you can make the decision to not, bro, you can do whatever, your life could be whatever you want it to be. So if the vision of your life is to not be around fake people, that is your choice and it can be respected. And you can live your life and enforce that. That's just the way you want to live. Now, certain instances of where fake people will show up, but you can have them removed from your event. Like I'm saying, you have freedom to create the life you want to create. So if you don't want those people around, you literally could not accept that you have to have those people around. You don't have to have those people around. And if they come around, you can get them from around you, or you can get from around them.
I needed to hear that.
So
I needed to hear that.
So
I needed to hear that.
Cause I ain't even gonna keep on talking on that.
Yeah.
But for sure. moving on, bro. Yeah, bro. It's about an hour, bro. It was a heavy one. I can't wait to re-listen to it. I'm ready to hear that crisp audio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the side.
I love that stuff, man.
Yeah, right. Though it is important, man.
But leading into our segment that we always do, it's called What You Learned. And I don't know why I feel like we ain't did this in a while. I feel like we ain't did this segment in a while, but I know we just did it last week. But yeah, in this segment of What You Learned, man, is there anything that you learned, a small pointer recently, you know what I'm saying, that you can tell the people that they can learn from?
One thing I'm really learning, man, as a man of God and the word, I'm learning that I can't willpower my way into nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and be like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. I can't move that way. I just really got to have the spirit of Jesus, man. And that's just when I met with it. Like, Jesus. You know what I mean? Because when I read the scripture, man, because I had been reading the Old Testament heavy. I've been trying to read the Bible from the front to back, but then God came to me one day and was like, you ain't got to read the Bible in order. Go where you need to go. It ain't wrote in order. So what you trying to read it in order for? Go where you need to go.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I need more Jesus. I don't really understand Jesus like that. I want to understand Jesus more. And I'm seeing that Jesus came because couldn't nobody live up to them 10 commandments. Don't do this.
Talk.
Don't do that. Couldn't nobody do it. So the spirit of Jesus is the answer. That's going to move me to how I need to be.
Talk, bro.
You know what I mean?
Hey, that's talk, bro. That's it.
That's what I'm learning.
That's it, bro. That's powerful.
Real
I
talk.
think, that's
what I'm learning.
Bro, yeah. Like, I'm glad you said that, and I'm ready for a lot of people to hear this episode. Yeah. And I believe that we're going to get this out to a lot of people because this was a great episode, and what you said really just brought everything home. And I really was trying to find a way to express what you just said, but it was put so eloquently the way it was supposed to be put. And I'm glad God used you to do that, because I didn't know how to like express just by saying like trust God. Mm. Like I didn't know how to, like, it sounds so simple and cliche though, like just trust God. Like it sounds so easy, but you know the way you broke it down was just like, that was perfect, bro. That was perfect, because we can't live up to expectations, bro. And that was literally why Jesus came with salvation. He gave us a way out, another way, besides trying to live holy in the flesh, because it was no way it could be done. Because the flesh profit nothing. Like it's in it to sin, it's in it to fail, it's in it to come short of the glory of God. And there was nothing could be done about it. You would just have to keep killing animals, keep killing and making blood sacrifices. But when Jesus came, and the way he was born, and we'll get into all of that, but just the way that Jesus was born, in which he was a perfect man with the Spirit of God, it had to be a death like that for something to be done.
Right.
It had to be the Son of God. It couldn't be the son of nobody else. But anyway, man, I ain't even got nothing to say after that. As far as what I learned, man, I guess I just learned that. I learned more of that.
Yeah, that's right.
I learned more of that, you know, continuing to let God lead, right, and not trying to push him out the front seat. Like, keep trying to, like, you know, turn left, Lord. Like he don't know the direction. Like, stop trying to lead and let him really lead. And that's my thing. Like, I'm learning to trust him even with my finances. I want to get to where I really trust God and not my finances. I don't want my confidence to be shaken when my money go down. Like, I want to maintain the same confidence with $0 or $1 million.
That's right.
I strive for that daily in my mind. Cause I know I feel some type of way when my money fluctuates. So I'm asking God to give me the consciousness and the mind elevation of not wavering in any way when it comes to money, because God is the source.
Right.
And if faith is in God, why is you wavering when something material goes up or down? So like, I don't want my faith attached to anything that doesn't last. God is forever, and it's money in God. It's whatever I need in God. It's food in God. It's water in God. It's houses in God. It's cars in God. It's whatever we need in God. So if I move like that, and if I believe like that, then everything that I ever have or need, ever want, is at the ask. All I have to do is ask God, and in faith, and He will allow me to have it.
That's right.
So I just have to move like that, man. I don't want no attachment to something that I could be a slave to. Like, I don't like, cause stuff will be a God. You can make things a God if you don't focus on God.
Easy.
Like, you have to actually focus and be deliberate. Your intentions, like you was just saying, what your intentions are with your confidence. See, if you walking in the confidence of, you know, I'm a son of God, I'm a man of God, and you walking in that light, that confidence, then you know who you really are. So then it's like, it's a certain way you're going to move.
Right.
So your intentions are going to be better. You're going to want to move in love. You're going to be humble. Like we were saying, we're going to be humble. It's a certain way you're going to move. So just allowing God, man. That's the way you move. You move by allowing God, and He moving. So that's the way you going to move, because you're allowing Him to move.
That's right.
So I'm on His timing. I'm trying my best, because we all fall short of the glory of God every day, and I have to also keep that in my forefront too, because it's so easy to fall into religion and tradition.
Right.
But I want to be in wisdom and understanding that God gives through the Spirit of the Holy Ghost.
Yes, sir.
So our next segment, bro, is the financial theme of the month. And we are still in the month of May. We're almost out. We're in the last couple of weeks of it. Last week of it, really, ain't it? Are we in the last week?
I think next
It's the 24th, isn't it?
I thought they was.
Yeah, we're in the last week. We're in the last week.
Dang, it is the 24th.
We're in the last week. We're in the literally, we're in the last 7 days of the month.
Golly.
So as we have already said, the financial theme of May was, please don't spend more than you make.
Yes, sir.
Word to myself, word to my mother, to my grandmother. word to the world, man. Don't spend more than you make trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's another thing that we got to stop doing. Stop trying to impress people that really, they don't even really know you, to be for real. Like, a lot of people don't even know who you are and don't even really care.
Don't care
who you are, and we be trying to impress, because that's that trauma though. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Look how many times we have gone to school and have wore the same things and got picked on. Like,
I saw somebody get picked on too.
All of these things goes into those experiences that our senses take in and that we remember and that we haven't healed from. So we have to look a certain type of way, or we feel that somebody gonna be picking at us, or we gonna feel less than, because we really feel like I have to be a certain type of way to have that confidence. Like you were saying, that confidence can be connected to something with bad intentions. That's low energy.
Right.
Like, you're only confident when somebody else likes you.
It's a good guy.
Like, that's bad. That's not confidence. You only confident in yourself when somebody else likes you. Like, you got a whole lot of people who don't really care about you. So I feel sorry for your confidence. But
that's right.
Anyway, don't spend more than what you make. So, if you make $10,000, why would you get something that costs $15,000? Don't start off at the negative $5,000. Reconsider. How about you look into some investments or something that you can do to make money faster, or Or like, what are some strategies that you can use to reach your goal that you're trying to reach instead of you trying to, just look a certain type of way and not really be there for real in real life.
Right.
Been there, done that. You can look good. Everything that glit ain't gold. Sometimes it be that counterfeit that look the best. So my suggestion is try not to spend 20 to 30% of your income. Try to live off at least, try to. Don't spend no more than 30% of your income. So if you can live off that 70%, which is like, that's a lot. 70% is a lot.
Or you saying don't spend 30%?
Yeah,
or you
don't
saying
spend
live off 30%.
Don't spend more than 30% of your income. Meaning, like, if you only make $80,000 a year, no big purchase, no major purchase should be 30% of that. Like, that means, okay, 30% of 80,000 is 24,000. Why are you buying something that costs 24,000?
Right.
And you only got 80,000. Now, even though you can afford that, but we thinking in the long run, we thinking in terms of wealth. Because wealth is defined by how long. Rich is defined by how much. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So I don't mean to cut you off, but something important just fell on me.
What's up?
Hey man, me included, get that life insurance.
Oh man.
Get that life insurance.
Amen.
For real, it's important.
Hey man, I was just about to fill out a document I gotta send off. Well, thank you for saying that.
Word.
Dang, was it the 20th or the 31st? I gotta look at the document because, great, thank you for saying that because it's a reminder I got a document I need to send off because it's a free life insurance policy. I know it's small, but
Talking about with Nate.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tap into that, and it's very cheap.
I think I got mine right here.
Oh, so you got that same thing? Yeah, we need to go ahead and send that off, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And we might need to just go ahead and do. I might subscribe to the $10 to $20 a month. Well, I might start at the 10, and go ahead and learn how to tap into the short term insurance policy and not just a life, the term life. I want to do term life and not just whole life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference between term life and whole life. So
I need to learn all that stuff. And when you said, sparked it when you said something about wealth, because it's some kind of way that these big money folks be pulling out of it, and it still be doing a curing or something like that. But you need to put something
in, though. See, that's what you have to understand. That's what we all have to understand. Mm-hmm. It's not like, I just bought an insurance policy and now I can just pull it out immediately.
Oh, no, I know that.
Like, you have to actually put money inside of the insurance policy first before the equity build up inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you need that time to actually be putting money in.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start putting money in, you really could actually put a lot of money in. Use it as your own bank.
That's what I've been hearing people saying they use it as a bank.
So instead of putting your checks inside of the bank, just put it inside the insurance policy, and then you can loan it out to yourself from your insurance policy and not lose, interest, not lose money on interest. Because if you go to the bank, right, they're going to charge you interest on that loan. But see, because this is your own insurance policy and you putting your money inside of your own insurance policy, where's the interest? Where's the interest rate? It's your own. This is yourself. This is yours.
I need to learn
that.
The
only interest rate has been given to you is the interest rate that the insurance policy itself is getting. You see what I'm saying? I
need to learn that game ASAP for real.
Maybe we both can motivate each other. Let's look into it together. For real. That way we can depend on one another on that.
Real talk.
Hey, iron sharper iron, and I feel like we both need to get into that. I definitely just had a son, so
for sure
we got to do that because even now, my mama, we don't need to wait till people get old, man. We can't wait till people get old. We can't wait till people get, sickness in the body because it gets harder and harder to get life insurance. So we need, and then the thing about life insurance, and we're gonna hop off, man. This is at least we get
you ready to go about that life insurance.
But at least I'm saying because I've been looking into it for a while because I just been waiting to get my money together so I can consistently give into that insurance policy. Just see, that's what the thing is. You can get it, but you gotta pay your premium.
Premium, right?
You know, so I need to make sure I can secure my premium, and I won't lose my premium, because I want to build on the same insurance policy and keep building on that with a good company, and that's how you get to the place where you can get loans out, and you can take loans out against your insurance policy. So you really gotta take it out of your insurance policy. You really can be like, okay, I got an insurance policy, right? Mm-hmm. You really can go leverage that to a bank and be like, I got $1 million insurance policy. I need a $100,000 loan by tomorrow. They're gonna look at that insurance policy, they're gonna see that, and they're gonna be like, oh, I can approve him for this loan because this is guaranteed, and we know that he can. If anything was to happen to him, he got enough collateral for us to get our money back. See, come on, man. All right, man. We invest different podcasts. Y'all already know, man. Stuff, man. We talking that shit.
We ain't even went there yet on y'all.
But I'm just saying, though, man, because it's a limit of what we can do for right now, because you know how iffy people be. You know, we at a certain level right now, but see, we on another frequency. See, really, wealth is also a frequency. See, what else folks don't realize? See, we focus on the material aspect of the frequency. See, material, when stuff is materialized, we don't understand that that's the lowest of the frequency. The highest form of frequency is things that you don't see.
Right.
So the real wealth is what? The energy, the consciousness, the awareness, the power, the frequency, the vibe. See, all of that is really the wealth. Because see that energy is so high. All of everything came out of that energy. So for anything to be seen, it has to get lower in energy for it to even be seen. So manifesting, see, we get manifesting mixed up. Manifesting is really the lower energy. Because when you manifest, you're materializing it. The high energy is when you actually in the energy before it actually materializes.
They ain't ready for that, cuz.
Man, come on,
they
man.
Ain't ready for that.
Let me stop, man. Let me stop that, man. Let me stop that, man.
Oh,
man, we gonna get out of here, man. We gonna go ahead and get out of here. See, we ain't
dropped it off.
I'm saying, our Navy Fed account don't say a million yet, so we ain't supposed to be talking like this.
You right, I dig it.
You see what I'm saying?
It's a time and place.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna kick the shit like that just yet.
All right, you just kicked it in, boy, for real.
But see, man, I don't got a little too high right now. Man, we're gonna tap out, bro.
Good shit, though.
We're gonna tap out, bro.
For real.
We're gonna lower this vibe, this home, man. Let's breathe.
That's right. Fido breathe, too.
All right. And we thank everybody for tuning in to another conversation of We Invest Different podcast. This was conversation number 16. And we're gonna get out of here. I'm co-host. What, you have anything left to say?
Nah, man, peace. Everybody stay peaceful, man.
Same. I'm co-host Mr. John Michael Best.
I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
And we out, man. See y'all next week for conversation number 17. We gone.
Already.